Morning Frost. Jimmy. As another earthquake rips through this place. Despite it being so far away, you can almost feel the ground falling into the abyss below as it rushes by the hive. The swaying of the hive kind of gives that sensation. Arcadia's through. And with that, the dreams of everybody fall as well.
And you gain what?
I am Contagion. I gain what I have always desired. The complete and utter infection of every living thing on this planet, every dead thing on this planet, every morsel, every thought strand, every dream, everything will be infected. I will be infinite. I am infinite. Speechless. Just how I like 'em. Go ahead. Bow down. You either bow of your own free volition, or I make you bow. Matters not to me. All will fall. All will succumb.
No.
That was an impressive screw-up. By the way, Jimmy. A massively impressive screw-up. And with that...
Yeah. Can't make my thing.
The look-alike Kalmir reaches into his pocket and pulls out what appears to be a tarantula the size of his hand. The tarantula is split down the back. Red vapors, for lack of a better word, exude from the crack in its back. You know, nuclear weapons are great and all that, but maybe next time don't be in such a rush. And with that, crushes it in his hand. Spores shoot off in a gigantic cloud around him. Three have become two now. Open the way, Jimmy. I don't have a way to leave this place. You do. Open the door. Hasten the inevitable.
Always remember stories of people, things like you. From my grandfather. He's a World War II pilot. Like, no training. Just sending a bird. Up you go. But you know, there was dignity amongst them. You went down in a dogfight, isn't she on the way down? There's a little tip of the wings, there was some respect. I knew when the fight was over. Me, I'm just stubborn. Dig my heels in, always have been. So when you ask me to open that door, show you the way through. It's another turn of phrase, but I won't repeat that here.
As you blink, he is no longer where he once stood. Instead, he is at your throat with a cane sword. Blade bare. It pressed right against your throat. It's almost as if space folded in on itself for a moment, overlapping the area where he was and the area directly in front of you. Tell your little boyfriend to open the gate, or I splash this room red.
Oh
And then
crap,
what?
out of game.
Say what?
I'm sorry,
Then
trying to
what?
process.
You kill me, you're stuck here. You know as well as I do, I'm the only one that can open that door for you.
It's got it against her throat, right?
No, his
Oh,
throat.
his. Oh, okay. Sorry.
False. Because once I kill you, I kill her, and then I take all the lovely little ones she has and let them go, running through the thorns. They'll tear open enough holes for me to get through. You're just more convenient at this moment. And at this point, no damage, but he is going to bring that blade just enough to cut through the skin and cause a bit of bleeding. Not enough for any actual, damage.
So at that, Sonia kind of steps forward, and you kind of see ice just kind of formulate on the ground. Jimmy, I can't lose you again.
Oh, you won't. Ride the falling leaves. Never got to use this, so I love it.
Go ahead.
Okay, dexterity plus alcohol plus mantle.
What's what?
So it's just working out. 4 successes.
What exactly happens as you call this contract?
As there's feels the blood can make contact with his shirt, he just erupts into a cloud of swirling leaves. Flutter around. Reforms. Cute trick. You're not the only one. Closes his eyes. and calls back memories that were never made. The life that was denied him.
Very similarly, Morning Frost. You see Arcadia respond. That's the only way to word this. Jimmy no longer stands there. The Arbiter stands there. Full title. In due time. We'll just say the Arbiter for right now. Easier to speak than a full title. It's also at this moment that everybody feels the temperature begin to rise. The floors above you, you see them burst into flame. Your ice melts. Morning Frost.
I want to pull that back.
As Kalmir
He's levitating down, by the way.
and Apollo land. Apollo, you still have memories. You are aware of who Morning Frost was and is. This statement, I say to both Arbiter and Apollo, you see who used to be there. But you know they are somebody completely different now. What does the Arbiter look like?
It's... Have you ever seen a scanner darkly?
Oh?
A scanner darkly. It's based on a Philip K. Dick novel, but they've got their sci-fi. They've got the scramble suits in that which like do different faces, and it's like so the face is like forever changing.
The entity looks over at now the four of you. Wow. To think 3 of my own would reach the heights of everything. Well, not everything, but the height that their station will allow them to. And Kalmir, yes, you are looking into the spitting image of yourself.
It's disconcerting.
And there he is. He kind of makes a hug gesture towards Kalmir.
Kalmir would take his cue and give a bow. Trying to hide his discomfort at talking to himself like that.
Total screw up. All those years ago, I'm pretty sure you knew.
I wouldn't say it was a screwed up. I'd call that a pretty well success. It was,
I'm referring to what led you here. To talking to me.
me talking to me.
Should tell your one friend, what was her name? Catalina, not to screw with magical artifacts.
You have no idea how many times I've told her that. Every time I see her.
So, 3 lost lambs, decided to throw on wolf clothing. Some more literally than others. And then one guy who cannot live with his own failures. So what will it be?
Are we still in Arcadia / the Hedge?
Technically, yes, you are. You're in the hedge. Arcadia exists above you, kind of.
Technicalities, my favorite. Well then, I suppose we basically automatically succeed at shaping things, don't we?
Unless you are specifically targeting another phase domain, which in that case they would be obviously automatically sacrificing that willpower to, resist.
Yeah.
But this isn't a phase domain, though.
That is very true.
Well then, we're going to start some fires. I will start burning this place, There, I will. He seems intent on talking, so I'll casually just start increasing the temperature here.
And I am casting environmental immunity on myself.
Arbiter, Mourning.
I'm trying not to melt. I was gonna ask, does this affect me?
It is very uncomfortably warm. However, you do have other titles you can fall on.
True.
I think you know how this is going to go. You might have slipped past everyone that was already here. But you don't control this place.
Instead, I may not control this place. He wanders very nonchalantly, as if he hasn't even noticed the increase in heat. I may not control the place, but I control everything else. For what is a place without its inhabitants? And to be quite fair, the Contagion is the inhabitant now isn't it? 3 Fae, 5 at most. Couldn't touch me even when I was... well... when I was a Fae.
Mic is muted, Jack.
Sorry. I don't know if this is going to work, but I want to try and use mine of the Baba Yaga.
What does that do?
You
It summons
appear as
Keanu
the
Reeves.
subject's appear as the subject's greatest fear. Obviously, Keanu Reeves.
You killed my dog. Okay. Appearing as the subject's greatest.
Yeah, what
Why
does
is
the
it
contagion
different?
fear?
Who you say?
Penicillin.
Kidneys, apparently.
Hold on. Roll20 just had a absolute conniption. There we go.
It's afraid of roll 20.
Who isn't?
I believe the Is that 13 for that contract?
Sorry?
I believe you have to roll for that contract still.
Yeah, I'm just looking at presence, intimidation, mantle. Which is still presence, intimidation.
Mantle,
Who's-
you would automatically count as 5.
11.
You don't have
Yeah,
mantle
11.
anymore.
I've got 5 already. So 11. I'll take that one success.
Out of 11 die. Does everybody see it or only you? Or how does it work exactly?
Oh, that's a very good question. I've only got it written down. I've only got the roll and the sort of page notes. Where's it gone?
Oh. By the way, are you, Kalmir, are you still looking at it through everything via fate?
No. He just wanted to watch the ascension through that.
So, a couple of notes here.
Yes.
Your vision has returned to normal here.
Oh, good. And I recognize these caverns then, I'm sure.
You'd have to roll a perception.
Okay, well, yeah.
It's not one of those things you could instantly notice.
I know that rock!
Nice rock.
So
What
if you
else?
want to roll perception, that's fine.
Sure, I will. What else do I notice? Well, just from... Oh, I thought there was other things before I rolled.
No, I did need to state, your vision returned back to normal.
Gotcha.
Oh.
3 successes.
So it's the changeling may let observers also see him as the target's greatest fear, but they may react accordingly. So everyone that sees it gains the frightened condition and must spend a point of willpower to take any action that requires dice for the duration.
Oh. I am not going to describe what appears. I'm not going to waste my mental capacity describing something that cannot be described. Kalmir, if you would like to turn on Mage Sight, however, I can answer it using supernal symbols, essentially.
Alright, if I recognize the power is being used, then that would probably kick in. Sure.
You recognize that the entity before you, you don't know that it was Jimmy, has shifted into some eldritch abomination. Let's just put it like that. Something that just completely defies all reason and logic. And what mage sights are you turning on?
By nature, a Tremere has all 5 subtle as ruling. So
Yes.
the 5 subtle plus fate, basically. Not fate, forces.
Okay. Are you going to activate the others?
Those cost mana each, and
You have a lot of mana.
I have a lot of, sure. Yeah, I'll spend 5 mana. What am I looking at? 4 mana, sorry.
You see Prime. You see the same Prime symbol that relates to the God Machine. You've heard whispers and tales of it. You see other symbols relating to each one of the exarchs. And then you see one other symbol that it just means human. Mortal human.
And this is from the entity that was formerly looked like me, or
No.
okay, the one that was standing over there that he didn't recognize as Jimmy. Okay.
Yes. That's what he fears. I do not have the mental capacity to be able to describe something like that, so I'll let everybody's mind do what it needs to do in this situation.
Witnessing it. Witnessing is too much for human comprehension.
Good thing there are no plain humans in here.
Just 3 Fae and 2 mages. 1 mage and 1 contagion.
So what's happening?
I'm going to make a roll. First and foremost. And currently, right now, it seems like the room's attempting to be burnt down.
I mean, if there's... I was gonna say if there's flammable material in the room, but that doesn't really matter. I can light the rock on fire.
Turn into liquid hot magma.
We'll just give him a taste, you know.
How about I learn how to spell things? That would be great, right?
You're trying to spell.
All you have to do to beat the contagion is to become the god of the domain. It's
What?
it was so simple.
It's so simple. Just ascend.
It's only gonna let me... Okay, well, fine then. I'll just have to do it this way. They get to roll to see how they respond to it, correct? Jack?
I'm not sure. It says that they have to spend willpower to do anything that involves dice checks.
Okay, well, in that case, he's going to nod
Right.
respectfully in your direction. Cute trick. Hardly means anything, though.
Or can I empathy that? Is this all bravado? Supposedly his greatest fear.
Sure. I'll go ahead and make that roll. What's the negative modifier? Sorry, I shouldn't have rolled until I got that negative modifier.
Did you roll composure twice?
Composure's
Or is that
10.
Okay, I was just wondering.
Ah, right. What was the? Sorry, the. What do you mean the?
You said
Oh,
it imposes a dice penalty, you said, on roll checks.
no, you got to spend. You got to spend willpower
Oh,
on dice checks.
Okay, he'll spend it. Fine. Done deal.
And then what am I doing? Wits empathy.
Yes.
Not like I'm gonna. I've got to. No, nothing.
He looks as cool as a cucumber, as the phrase goes. And don't think I haven't noticed. What are you calling yourself, Leon?
Does the prey need to know what its killer's name is? It does not. You will burn regardless.
Then we all go together. He raises a hand. Kalmir, you have mage sight up.
Yes, he does.
You see forces.
Oh, he's counterspelling.
Okay, so how does a counter spell work here?
It's basically whatchamacallit. Hold on. Where did it go? There it is. So counterspell is a clash of wills. Gnosis plus Arcanum against the countering Gnosis plus Arcanum. Normally, I would need to know what he's using, which I do, and I can use either the specific counterspell Arcanum, so forces for forces, but Primus also has a universal counterspell, so either one works.
Yeah.
I'll use forces just because I like it.
So forces plus gnosis.
Forces and Gnosis, yes.
Alrighty. Feeling lucky?
We'll find out. I rarely win these against you, so. But I'm gonna try anyway. And clicky. Here we go. 4!
But he's gonna be rolling 40 dice. You're screwed. You're dead.
No, that doesn't let me click that.
But the attempt needed to be made.
I'm trying to think of how to roll it so you know what I'm rolling, but it doesn't look like that's going to be how this works. So
You could just tell me. Roll and then tell me.
Where's Forces Arcana? Forces Gnosis.
yes,
Clash of Wells.
He's probably got something else. Why is he adding rank in there?
rank is
Gnosis.
rank
that's
is his
okay.
gnosis.
So what are those modifiers?
9 forces.
He's an Archmage? How dare. Well, no wonder I failed.
Ah.
We're
So,
screwed, you guys.
It's okay. It's not my bane, so I don't take damage.
so your counterspell
Gets slapped away.
is eradicated. All the fire becomes eradicated as energy is dispersed immediately.
Mhm.
Dispersed as in coming at us?
No,
As in
completely.
poof.
As in, there is no more energy at all.
Oh.
It's eradicated.
Your specific energy.
Ah, okay.
Archmage. Don't even try to.
Well, fine. That's. I agree with your assessment then. I'm going by the lowly mage rules here.
Lowly.
Yes, lowly.
And that is something you notice. It's not just the energy from your spell, your counter spell. All energy at this very moment is eradicated in the general physique.
Technically, we're all dead then.
Low battery?
Define energy.
Defining actual classical energy. Technically, I could say you guys can resist via stamina, but you would auto succeed because he's not trying to kill you.
Okay.
Just basically everything that was a threat to him is now. The fires have stopped. The temperature in the room returns to normal. You look perturbed, Kalmir.
Perturbed doesn't quite do it justice. What are you?
I am what you could have been if you would have made the correct choice and joined the Contagion. I submitted. When our time split, and I became me, and you became you, due to Catalina's haphazard dash into the future that then ripped you back into the past, a version of you was left in the present. He makes a bow at this point. I sided with the Contagion. I eventually traveled here to Arcadia. Time is a very funny thing in Arcadia. I kidnapped these three, along with a few others. And, well, the rest is history, I guess. Place does strange things to you.
Yes, I see. I've only been here a short time, and I've only seen a small percentage of strange things. Looking at the gods in the room.
I would suggest that the four of you run along and enjoy whatever time you have left on this rock before, well, he comes and collects. Well, the three of you won't have nearly as long as this one here. Two fresh fae with barely a title to stand on. One fae that has it's probably the strongest fae alive at this moment. It'll take a little bit longer to ruin that, but all in due time.
Has anyone ever told you you talk too much? You see, every time you open your mouth, it's that smug tone.
I mean,
So
haven't
self-righteous.
you heard him talk? And he points at Kalmir.
Yeah. And to tell you the truth, I don't know how he sleeps at night. But he's here now doing something about it. Whereas you just have the... dunno. Just that voice. Let's be honest, I can't bear sharing the world with it. What about the rest of you? Defiant last stand?
Well, I will say we have the same voice, so... Defiant last stands... Yeah.
Sorry, it's more the way he's like, I am the future. It's just, shut up.
Defiant last stands are usually a losing battle, and I'd rather not be a part of one. But at the same time, that's really the only option at this point. We're already at the Defiant last stand.
It's the annoying thing about only options. It's the only option.
I mean, if it's the only option, who am I to argue?
No need for a defiant last stand. New hunt has only just begun. He has enough bark to not be vanquished right here, which will just make the chase all more enjoyable. I obviously can't kill him right here, so I'm gonna maybe go and go gather strength somewhere else.
Morning Frost?
She looks at Jimmy. With you, darling, I will follow you to the ends of the worlds.
You might live to regret those words.
I didn't regret it before.
First time for everything.
Kalmir, I'm gonna offer you a little deal here. What is, if you were to Mage Sight Scrutiny that spell that just went off, what is your maximum dice pool that you could roll?
What do you mean?
What's the absolute max you could roll to scrutinize that spell?
To scrutinize.
Yes.
Mage Sight.
Because I assume your force is 5. You know that spell.
He's used that spell. Where is it? Mage Sight.
It's
So-
Gnosis Arcanum, so you're
Yeah.
15.
Gnosis Arcanum, minus opacity for revelation. But for scrutiny, yeah, it would just be Gnosis Arcanum. So 15? I don't know if
Give
willpower counts toward this.
take a +5 to that roll and roll it.
Oh my.
Because his Nimbus is the same as your Nimbus. There's a lot of reasons why you're getting that +5.
I'm not going to argue with +5. 5 successes.
As you see the Nimbus go off, you see the spell go off. You see exactly the spell as you would cast it. Except for one specific weave. That now that you've seen it, you're certain you can duplicate it. And we're going to call the session there.
You have just finished listening to this week's episode of the Contagion Chronicle, The World Plague, the conclusion to the Domain Gaming's Contagion Anthology, written and told by Wyverian. A special thanks to you, the listener, and if you wish to continue supporting us, subscribe, like, and share. As always, comments are welcomed. Until the next chapter, don't stop asking yourself, what is this plague that invades both body and mind?